Okay. Hey guys, welcome to my continuation of the Doki Doki Literature Club. When I first started this, I had no idea what I was doing, what I was expecting. It still doesn't feel very horror, but I can feel that something's coming. I don't know which part this is, but I've obviously had to split this up because it ended up being really, really long. And this is my second day of playing it, so whatever part this is, part 3, part 4, whatever, here we go. Hint, you can skip or fast forward through text you've already read. Nope, this is right where we were. Raven. You're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monika is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monika would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days this important, she'd cry a little harder? I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday. And I suddenly feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. Haha. You should take a little responsibility for her, Raven. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know? Exchange? Monika, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president, after all. But I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it all that quickly? That we're a couple now? I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez. You don't know the whole story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Monika is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after her saying that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought that too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Uh-oh. Get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head. A lot of get out of my heads. Get out of my head. Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. Okay. What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Raven? What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's ever written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to go get Sayori. Well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself. Monika calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. Uh-oh. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her feel really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they've always been. That's all she needs, and what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer, since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I open the door and let myself in. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house? That really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori, wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Oh man. Holy. This got dark really quick. Wow. An exception has occurred to the game. What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything would be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Confessing to her? I shouldn't have confessed to her. That's not what Sayori needed at all. She even told me how painful it is for her brothers to care about her. And why did I confess to her? To make her feel even worse? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her, like it's always been, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I can do will ever bring her back. This isn't some game that I can reset and try something different. I had only one chance, and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Ever. Never. 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 And what? That was the end? No! Oh my god. Why does this game even exist? That is just horrifyingly depressing. Wait. What's that? Maybe it's not over. Oh, maybe it's not over. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. The girl is my neighbor and a good friend since we were children. You know the kind of friend you've never seen yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase me down like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let catch up to me. Okay, it's not over. Whew, that tricked me. What the hell? It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. But I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting on by the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. No, never. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for announced motivation. Clubs. There really wasn't any that interested me. Besides, most of them would probably be too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the enemy club. Raven. Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, and athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So, having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper around here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? Haha, about that. I actually quit the debate club. Really, you quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget, publicity, and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? Sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? Haha. It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not that boring, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Raven. By any chance, are you still looking to join a club? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance that you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please. Well, I guess I have no more reasons to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet, Raven, you know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go, then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. Oh, sweet. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Jesus. I'm back. And I brought a guest with me. A guest? Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. Anyway, welcome to the club, Raven. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Oh no. So, let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyways, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Raven in the classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica? Didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to. Well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Raven? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Isn't a desk a table? I guess they're making a bigger table. I guess it's not. Whatever. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monika and Natsuki sit across from each other, still feeling awkward. I take a seat next to Monika. So, I know you really didn't plan on coming here, but we'll make you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in this club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You can put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Hehe, don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. It's not that. Insulted, Yuri looks wet. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So Raven, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read in the past years, I don't really have a good answer for that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wanted to say something, but she keeps quiet. Oh, not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that could change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story is such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Stories about deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Sweet. I remember reading a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I didn't expect that from you, Yuri. Suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really? If a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really just can't put it down. Surreal horror is often usually successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind in the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. Give that back. Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open yourself up to readers, expose your vulnerabilities, and show even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write poems of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for us all to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president. After all, I need to do my best to nurture this club as well as its members. Besides, now we have a new member. It seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Raven? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. Let me guess that he hasn't decided to join. I never said I would join this club. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All three girls staring back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Raven. Thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I'd feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself feels pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I have to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Raven? Yeah. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Raven, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment, write a poem to bring for the next meeting. We can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Raven, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Hee. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? How do you feel the anxiety welling up inside me? Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. Bye. I'm in a weird mood today. With that, I depart the club and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. What? You have unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? Oh, yeah. Huh. What is that? Is that a poem? I don't like that poem. Okay. Well, I'm only trying to impress 2 girls now. That's weird. Who's that? Okay. Oh, that's the Monica or whatever, I think. I don't know. Here. Childhood. Graveyard. Bang. Sensation. Captive. Unstable. Hurt. Scars. Broken. Rainbow. Frightening. Hopeless. Grief. Sadness. Agonizing. Empty. Depression. And melancholy. Ugh, are we gonna choose that? I don't know, let's choose it. Not that I take that lightly, but I want to see what's gonna happen. I want to go with dark for some reason. Hi again, Raven. Glad to see you didn't run away on us, haha. No, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I can keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Raven. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, Jesus. Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged down here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. She's blocking the text. Natsuki certainly may have a big mouth for someone who keeps manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature, swiftly defeated. Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Raven. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might be interested in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in the club now. So it only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. Oh no, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club, so even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked up a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it, if you want. This is... How's this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book that she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Feel. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be only a few pages in. Oh crap, I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that doesn't only make her hide her face deeper into her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter, sensing I've made her feel uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I was just rereading a bit of this, so... that's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I want to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well... I stopped at the bookstore yesterday. That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri is not telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about, anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book says, Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about a religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. Are we in a human experiment right now? Is that what's going on? And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines, the lust for blood, but the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn kind of came out of nowhere. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Raymond? Oh no, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy, She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just this kind of story. It's the kind of that challenges you to look at life from strange new perspectives. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people, and we're all worthless anyway. What? Then suddenly... I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body gets something, and then I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. Please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're comfortable about reading. It's the least I can do is listen. It's literature club, after all. Oh, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading on it then, right? Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but... But, haha, what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, is it fine if I sit here? I slip next to Yuri. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just bathing in the... Oh god. Yuri, you're apologizing a lot. I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean, haha. Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. Ah, I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn pages. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah, I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But, in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's kind of distracting. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Oh, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and her eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she's finished the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. No, I don't want to relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking of the way she second-guesses everything she says, and all that. Oh. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else. Never mind. We didn't get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head. Aha. Yuri, are you feeling okay? Yuri's been a little fidgety since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hand to her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Raven? Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say that I do. Are you worried about her? No, not really. I was just making sure that she didn't do anything to her. That you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Haha, don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip it back into my bag. Okay. This game is really weird. I'm just saying. Doki doki! Well, let's share with Natsuki first. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Oh, what? Raven, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put effort into it. We all start somewhere. If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about. Fine. Well, sorry. You'll be better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Okay, it's the same Eagles Can Fly poem. I remember that. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah. I told you you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your messages any less valid. Exactly. It's like, I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling of the last line. So you did. I guess more went into this than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect it from the youngest one here, did you? Guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take it away from her. Hi, Raven. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have a suggestion about the club, like new activities, or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Haha. Don't worry, Raven. We're all a little embarrassed today, don't you know? But it's sort of a barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. That's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Raven. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easier for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put some effort in. Oh, that's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know, Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that in a bad way, though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head, and it's probably much more interesting of a place for her. But that's why she's so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction. So don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started exchanging our poems. Oh, already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm glad you took all the time you needed. Alright, thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it. A hole in the wall. But he wasn't looking at me, confused. I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burned eyes could no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing pricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had a kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing a lot of my poems. An epiphany. Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about this is, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big, dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay. As Yuri reads the poem, I noticed her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Eh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri covers her mouth first, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. That's... Oh, I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time. Really? Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant... Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem as if she's breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there were specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of pick up on it. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their very own style deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up writing styles separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is both the style and the expressiveness, and they are both weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes, her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are just so many different skills and techniques that go into writing, even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Oops. Natsuki can be a little biased sometimes, though. Biased? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd have to share my thoughts process behind it. Yuri smiles, as if it's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghosts under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing, it must be this one, the last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time, the last to be replaced by the sickening blue-green light of the future. I bathe. Calms? What? Calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers, I flicker back. Well, that wasn't too creepy. I'm sorry I touched terrible handwriting. Sorry. I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Oh. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think her handwriting is really pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it was short, it's really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, this story isn't about ghosts, Raven. Really? I must have missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all, but remember, the poets often express their thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive, too. Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a few things from you. You think so? Of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Raven. Me too. Okay. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monika is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems as they read. In tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration, meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Oh, did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with pen in one hand. Ugh, starting to get tongue-tied. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute. Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can it be cute? Oh, I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice? Thanks. But it really didn't need to come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone I actually liked. Oh, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monika liked it. And Raven did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent long enough time... Excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't. Raven liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Raven appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. How do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you so full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I wouldn't be deliberately going out of my way to make everything I do overly cute. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Raven started showing up. I remember that part. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities on others like that? You really act young as you look, Natsuki. Me? Look who's talking. You want to be edgy, bitch. Edgy? Sorry, but my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know? Do you want to prove anything? And stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. Do you think you can counterbalance that toxic personality of yours just by dressing and acting cute? The only thing cute about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful, you might cut yourself on the edge here. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the heck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Raven hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly, Yuri turns towards me I think she noticed I was still standing there. Raven! She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. How did I get dragged into this? But, oh, Jesus. I gotta pick someone. I think Yuri's being right. Oh god, what is happening? Is it not gonna let me pick Yuri? Oh. That was so weird. Hey Raven? Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth on her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri must have said to Natsuki. Or did. Raven, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about this tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants me to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monika. You can go first, Monika. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president. I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take the responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something. It's not like that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Raven. It would be embarrassing with you listening. Sigh. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really appreciate you understanding, I think. Oh, God. Yeah, let's... Ooh. I don't know. Oh, that's so weird. I'm just picking all the dark ones still for some reason. Nibble. Nibble, nibble. Judgment. Unstable. Infallible. Inferno. Despise. Captive. Unrequited. Great. Heartbeat? After image? I don't know if any of this really matters. Disoriented. Universe.